welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you how I make some delicious rice and green peas. Just follow my recipe. Everything will be listed in the description box, the measurements. So just go ahead and check it out and I got you. And if you have any questions, just go ahead, talk to me in the comment section and I got you. So I'm just showing you all the ingredients that I have for my rice and peas. Black pepper, fresh parsley, all these fresh ingredients, which is so good. Can't forget the thyme as well as the butter, which we're going to use in the rice later on. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start off by making your epis. Like I said, everything will be in the description box. Just follow. So this technique that you see me doing, my mom taught me this. Black cloves, if you ever bitten in some black cloves, it's not the most pleasant taste. So to keep the cloves from, just being all in the rice, all free, you want to go ahead and take the black cloves and insert it in the habanero pepper. Also, it will not be spicy. Don't think because you're using a habanero pepper that the rice is going to be spicy. You're going to have a lot of flavor to your rice and the seeds aren't exposed. You'll get the flavor without the spiciness, if that makes sense. Try this technique. Let me know how you like it. If it worked out for you, go ahead and, we can get a conversation going. But this is a technique that I learned from her. And ever since then, I've been using this technique and I really love it. So I'm just getting that out the way. But what I am going to do is make the epis next. Epis is something that Caribbeans love to use. It's a blend of seasonings and it helps you with, seasoning your meats, your rice, whatever it is. Also, I will have a link on, I have another video on how to make epis, but I have my garlic, my fresh parsley, my salt, and my pepper. I'm using a very small amount of salt because we're going to be using Maggie and some more salt later on, and we don't want this over salted. And we can't forget the fresh green pepper. Shake it up. I love using my bullet. You can use a bullet, a blender, whatever it is to make sure that your seasonings are well blended. And you can also, you know, get a small a very small spoon just to taste how the epis is. So this is the end results of my epis. Listen, don't get rid of what's in the bullet, the remainder that's in the bullet. Save that because we can use that as water for the rice later on, just adding water to it. That way our rice has all the flavor that we like and we didn't waste anything. So I made sure that my pot was hot. I went ahead and I added all my epis to the pot. And we want to make sure that the epis is fried a little bit before we add the peas, because the next step is going to be to add the peas. So make sure after you add your epis to the pot and with the oil, give it a good stir. We want to make sure that everything is evenly spread out. And then we take the peas. The peas have been out for a little while, so they're not really frozen. And we go ahead and we add it to that pot. We want to make sure that it fries a little bit, the epis, the oil, just to make sure that everything, all the, flavors are released. Give it a good stir to make sure nothing is sticking to the pot. Look at how beautiful that looks already. I love, bright colors in food and everything. So this is really pretty and it tastes good. So after we've gotten that out the way, we're going to add our Maggie. Make sure you crush your Maggie up and add it to the peas. This is not going to be salty. I don't really use Maggi a lot, but when I do, it's so worth it, especially in rice, because it gives your food some good flavor. It gives the rice some really good flavor where it's not over salted. It's seasoned well, not overly seasoned, but just enough. And if you are a coconut lover, go ahead and add about a half a can to a can of coconut milk to the peas, the epis, and the oil. Give it a good stir. I'm telling you, if you've never used some coconut milk in your rice, you gotta try it. You don't know what you're missing. Now, if you're a person and you don't really like coconut, then hey, by all means, you can skip this step. But it's so worth it. This is another trick that I learned from my mom, a cooking technique. But you get some fresh parsley, get your thyme, tie the parsley around the thyme because this will keep, the stems being all loose in the rice. And you get the nice flavor of the parsley and the thyme, and everything is just neat and kept in place. So remember how I told you whatever was left in the blender or the bullet, you add water to it. This is what you do to make sure you're not, you're keeping all the flavor in your rice. So this is a few cups of water that I used in my rice. And then I added some butter, I believe about 2 tablespoons of butter to my pot. And this is the habanero pepper with the black cloves that I was showing you earlier, along with the thyme and the parsley. And I'm adding a little bit of salt just to make sure that my rice isn't lacking in, that seasoning. It's not a lot of salt at all, I'm telling you. So while the previous ingredients are boiling, the peas, the epis, and all of that, we're gonna make sure that we wash our rice in cold water. The reason why we're washing it in cold water and not in hot is because if you were to be washing it in hot water, it's kind of like you're pre-cooking the rice, and that's something that you don't want to do. So if you're like, well, why are you washing it in cold water? It's because we're not trying to, to pre-cook our rice, if that makes sense. And washing the rice, it's good in my opinion. Some people don't tend to do that, and that's fine. That's up to them. uh, Cooking, you could do whatever you want, however you want to, but I prefer, and I was raised to wash my rice just like I was raised to clean my meat. No shade or nothing. Everyone has their own way of cooking. So this is me making sure I get rid of all that water. And after the pot, is boiling with all my ingredients, I'm gonna add the rice to the pot slowly. And I want to also give you this tip. The way to avoid your rice being mushy, don't do all that stirring. Do enough stirring to where your ingredients aren't sticking to the bottom of the pot. And also, don't be so quick to cover up your pot as well, your pot of rice. What I mean is, make sure that the water is basically almost gone for the most part before you cover it up with aluminum foil, or I've seen people cover it up with a bag. Me myself, I prefer to use aluminum foil when I'm steaming the rice. But you see here, I'm doing very minimal stirring. I'm just making sure that my rice isn't sticking to the bottom. I don't have any peas sticking to the bottom. I'm just making sure that everything is good, and I have it basically on high. And as time goes by, I bring it down to medium high, medium, and then low. So this is after all my water's gone. Basically, this is me. I've covered it up with some aluminum foil because I want to make sure that my rice is steaming. Okay. You see how I waited until the water was gone and I made sure it's steamed. That's what gets your rice that perfect texture where it's not too mushy or anything. And just making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pot. Okay. This is, to me, it's a quick process. It doesn't take long. It just takes patience, to make sure that the rice is great quality. You won't regret it. So you can eat this with some jerk chicken, which I have a video uploaded on that. You can eat this right with regular chicken, whatever type of protein that you would like. But I'm telling you, it's so good. Go ahead. Let me know if you tried these ingredients, these steps. Tell me how you liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.